So you may use a blanket or a cushion to sit on, so you can relax your knees a little bit more. The ideal posture is when you can keep your chest open, shoulders rolling back, the spine straight but not rigid, and your head is just on top of your spine. So there is a straight line and kind of sense of energy streaming from the base of your spine up to the crown of your head. And actually feel your body stable, grounded and relaxed, and you can relax your hands on your laps. The most common position is cross-legged, as I said, sitting on the floor, and if you are very tight in your hips, sitting on something like a cushion or a blanket is helpful. You can also support your knees, and if this is completely uncomfortable, you can also sit in a so-called Virasana position, again using a blanket or a cushion to put under your buttocks. So you sit in a kind of meditative or prayer position. So choose your position, adjust anything you need to adjust. Make a couple of warming up movements to loosen up your spine and loosen up your shoulders so that you can maintain stillness in your meditation. And we will start by first settling in with our breath. So we're going to inhale deeply through the nose, and we're going to exhale through the mouth. And we do it 2 more times. Exhaling through the mouth. And the last time maybe you want to add the visualization. So we inhale energy, sun, positivity, and we exhale tiredness, irritation, problems, whatever you can imagine, or just physical discomfort. And then taking a moment to readjust yourself, feeling this energetic lift of your spine, sitting straight yet relaxed. We're gonna try to keep our eyes closed, and if this is not comfortable, you can also gaze to the front in a very relaxed way. So you're not focusing your gaze on anything, just kind of soft, unfocused gaze down. You can start moving inward with your attention. And I hope your practice of meditation and breathing exercises, which we started a couple of weeks ago, is progressing, so it becomes a bit easier for you to get tuned in to your breath. So we first allow our attention to move to the points in our body where you can sense your breath clearly, and maybe your belly as it expands, and draw down on each breath. Or it can be the tips of your nostrils. And you really need this point of concentration in order to be able to focus, so that we are not following the train of thoughts that might come to your mind. So we don't need to chase our thoughts away, we just need to gently, when you feel the thoughts arising, and there may be many thoughts or one thought which is repetitive, or several thoughts passing by. Each time you notice the thought, you draw your attention back to the point where you sense your breath. As you allow your breath to flow in a natural rhythm, at a natural pace, you will try to keep and make your face, the muscles of the face, neck and head, a bit more relaxed. So really letting go of any tension in your mouth, in your jaw, in your cheeks. And today you don't need to control your breath. focus on the point where you feel your breath as an attention anchor. And if you have thoughts passing by, allow them to arise and allow them to disappear without giving energy to them. And you don't give energy when you return your attention to the focus, to your focal point of breathing. Try not to think the thoughts, try not to engage in the thinking process. When the thought arises, just let it pass. And in a few breaths, we're going to release our attention from focusing on the point of where you sense your breath. And we're going to spend a few seconds setting our intention for the practice. It can be the same intention you were setting for yourself all this time, or it can be a new intention. But I would really welcome if you could stick to the intention you were setting before, so you can really see this intention manifesting more in your life. And formulate it in the present tense in positive statement. Intention for health, happiness, healing, or calm, or anything else that matters in your life. It's really important. And slowly, after you repeat it with this intention 3 times, we're gonna open our eyes and we are ready to move. Today we're gonna start moving a little bit into half standing poses. So I will give variations for all the poses. So don't feel compelled to move into the final expression of the pose. There will be always something to work on. And I would like us to start by moving on our feet. So we're gonna stand up, and it doesn't really matter that you probably not see me fully. So I'm gonna start bending my knees, and then with a round spine, I'm gonna start hanging down. So I relax everything, and my knees, as you see, are bent, and I also relax my head. So please do the same. Allow everything, the upper body, be very, very relaxed. So you are as a ragdoll, almost boneless, in all parts of your upper body. And just to feel this, maybe you can relax your arms and start making letters O with your arms. And it could be one direction, the other direction. So just feel the movement in your shoulders. And keeping the knees slightly bent. You can bend them as deep as you would like to. You can even place your belly on the knees if it's more comfortable. And then we're gonna also shake our head. So keeping the arms hanging. We're gonna shake our head, yes, no, maybe. And then we're gonna relax the facial muscles by fluttering the lips. So inhaling and exhaling through the mouth. And then we start swaying our arms, our upper body, side to side. And very, very slowly we're gonna start rolling our spine back to standing position, and we continue swaying our arms and with the head coming last. So no rush here. And as we straighten up completely, we're gonna continue swaying with our arms, very relaxed arms, so you can massage the area of your liver, the kidneys, energetically wakening up your body. And then maybe making it a bit more energetic, and then slowly start slowing down and coming back to neutral. And we go further on our knees and hands, so in a tabletop position, and we will activate our spine by making cat and cows asana. So we exhale and round our backs, and as we inhale, we draw the chest up and drop the spine, And we continue with our breath. So you can do it fast or slow as you want. A few more rounds like this. So inhaling up, dropping the spine, and exhaling, rounding the back and also pressing through the fingers. And the fingers are spread on the floor. So make sure that there is no space between the palm of your hand and the floor. So all the fingers are closed into the ground. And the feet, the toes are untucked. So your back of the feet are flat on the ground. And we stop in the middle, and then we're gonna wiggle our tail. So we're gonna turn towards the left with the head and with the hips. So looking towards your left hip and then looking towards your right hip. So we continue a bit like this, activating our spine in a different direction, so sort of lateral movement. Again, fast or slower as you wish. A few more rounds. And then we combine all the movements, so we start kind of bending and moving the spine up and down, side to side, adding the movement in the hips. And as long as you're doing it in both directions, anything goes. You can also bend your hands if you want to. You can send your hips back. And repeat this kind of snake-like movements on both sides. So really feeling that the spine can be loosened a little bit here. And when you finish the other side, we stop in the middle. So adjusting your position and look at your hands. So your all 5 fingers are spread wide on the floor, and your wrists are directly under your shoulders, and your knees are hip width apart and directly under your hips. And we're gonna tuck our toes under, and we're gonna send our hips back. So you stretch forward, maybe moving the hands a bit more forward, and we can just stretch our spine completely here. And then on the next inhale, we look up, and then pressing through the hands, we're gonna start lifting our hips up. So keeping the spine long, we just start straightening the legs. So we are moving into down facing dog, and maybe when you're in a down facing dog, you start walking your dog, so bending the right knee, bending the left knee. And if you have particularly tight hamstrings, feel free to stay with the slightly bent knees. So moving up and back, your first down facing dog. Keep the head relaxed, so you don't need to look in between your hands, look between your feet in a down facing dog. And then we're gonna stop in the middle, so feeling the stretch, pressing all fingers firmly into the ground, the whole palms are pressing tightly. And then we're gonna move from here in the side stretch, so we're gonna lift the heels to the maximum and bring both of our heels towards the right side, and we continue pedaling there, so bending the right knee, left knee, and trying to keep the front of the body facing forward. So we are just rotating the back, so you might feel some discomfort in the right hip or somewhere else, because probably our muscles are tight. So just something that is reasonable. And then on a big inhale, we lift the heels back up, press back with our chest towards the sides, and then move our heels towards the left side. And then we continue pedaling there. So if you feel that something is a cramp-like sensation in the muscles, just adjust something, make it less deep, or move back to the center, and we all move back to the center. And then we lift our heels to the maximum, and then start bringing our heels towards the floor. And then we open our knees very wide, and we move into child pose. So untuck your toes, bring your arms forward, inhaling deeply, lengthening the spine. We're gonna go down. So staying here, feeling the stretch on the upper body, maybe in your shoulders, and resting your forehead on the floor. Deep breathing, maybe using your belly breathing, which we practiced before. Try to feel your hips, the buttocks becoming heavier and heavier as they move towards the ground, closer to your heels. exhale, we're gonna press our hands into the ground and we move back to our all fours position, so tabletop. And from here there will be several variations. So the first variation, we're gonna hold the balance. So maybe some of you are already familiar. We're gonna extend the right arm forward parallel to the floor in line with the body. We're gonna look in front, and if you have a good balance here, we're gonna extend the opposite leg. So both the right arm and the left leg are parallel to the floor, and we have energetic movement, right hand forward, the back leg backwards. So opposite sides, and then we release. So this is first variation of the balance. We repeat it on the left side, and then we extend first left arm forward, and if the balance is good, right leg back. And we keep on breathing deeply for 3 breaths here, extending into opposite directions, lengthening, and also using the belly muscles to bring this belly button closer to the back of the spine. And then we release. So for the next variation, you can repeat the same position, so right arm forward, left leg back. Or if you have strength, if you want to practice a little bit more, you can move into plank position. So lifting your knees and making sure that your shoulders are over the wrists. We're going to do the same in a plank position, or repeat the previous variation. So right arm forward, left leg back, and we stay here. So the belly has to be engaged. And if you fall like I'm falling right now, that's fine too. So just smile and repeat on the other side. But it requires concentration, and if it's your practice to do just the arm forward, or maybe practicing with the arm forward and the leg back, and then seeing if you can have the balance here, and then releasing into child pose. Good job, everybody. And we move our hips back. And for a moment, resting there. And if you want to rest your shoulders as well after this strenuous exercise, you can bring your arms behind and just allow your chest to start dropping down on the floor. And there should be some space between your knees, so you can easily drop your chest towards the ground. So there is a space for the chest to move down. And when your arms are behind the close to the legs or behind, it's easy to relax the shoulders. Few more breaths here. And then we're going to place our hands next to our head. And then we're going to gently lift up halfway. And then we place our elbows in front of us. So our elbows are on the ground, and we place the hands in the prayer position. So we're going to do into side twist in this position. So we're going to work on our elbows all the way towards the left side. And when our right elbow outside of the right knee, we're going to press the right elbow into the ground, press the hands together, and the left elbow lifts. And our prayer hands are just in the middle of our chest. So see if you can make your hips heavy, the spine long, and you press the hands towards each other to create this leverage, the twist. So don't go beyond what is available to you right now. It doesn't really matter how deep is the twist. Just try to use your breath to increase the effect of this spinal twist. And on the next exhale, we put the left elbow down and we repeat on the other side. So we move on the elbows towards the right side, then the left elbow outside of the right knee, and we press the right elbow up, and we look up, lifting the right elbow off the ground, and having a spinal twist. One more breath, don't forget to breathe. Breath is the most important in yoga, and on the exhale, we're gonna move our hands forward, and from here we're gonna finish with a couple of shoulder variations for the stretch of the shoulders. It's called thread the needle, or like something like this. So we bring the right arm up, and then we thread the right arm underneath the left arm, and we place the right ear and the right shoulder on the ground, and we stay here. Or maybe you would like to bring this left arm around the back, maybe grab your right thigh inside, or anything that you can grab behind you, maybe behind your back, your shirt. Continue breathing deeply. And on the next inhale, we release the back arm if it was behind the back, and pressing the left arm into the ground, we're gonna lift up and bring the right arm up, and then place it back. And we repeat on the other side. So left arm up, threading the needle, left shoulder on the ground, left ear maybe reaching the ground. Try not to strain your neck. If it needs adjustment, or if you need to have a cushion or something like this, please feel free to use. And then maybe bringing this right arm behind the back, grabbing something that belongs to you. And on a big inhale, you're gonna bring the right hand first back on the ground, and pressing with the right hand, lifting the left arm up, and left arm down. And we're gonna come back into our all fours position. And from here, we're gonna slowly lie down on our belly. So just lie down here, and we're gonna, for a moment, relax. So shake everything that can be shaken here. So your hips, your legs. And we're gonna go into the extension of the spine. It's gonna be a variation of cobra position or sphinx. So again, a couple of options here. If your lower back is a bit sore and you already have some problems, you might wish to have your elbows in front, and you may grab your forearms and just stay here. So the legs are slightly apart. If you have lower back problems, if there are no problems, keep them together. And we're gonna stay here. If your lower back does not complain, it's healthy, you can place the elbows just under our shoulders, and we're gonna make this movement with our elbows as if we want to crawl forward. So we lengthen our spine, and our legs are fully relaxed. We don't need to engage anything there. And then we allow ourselves just to stay here. So the elbows are under the shoulders or a little bit in front. So don't keep your elbows behind, because it will be very strenuous for your shoulders. So if you need to adjust something, adjust. Probably your belly is on the ground, so you can usually use your breath to deepen the back bend. And don't forget to breathe. Allow your breath to rock your body, and allow each inhale lengthen your spine, and each exhale will be used by you to relax into the pose. So allow this moment of letting go and easing into the pose. And if you feel that it's too much, just move your elbows a little bit more to the front, or grabbing the forearms to go a little bit lower. This is fine by all means. So we're gonna stay in this pose for, let's say, 4 or 5 more breaths. And for those of you who feel that the body would like to have a bit more of this back bend, you can place your hands under your shoulders, and we're gonna press the elbows towards the rib cage, and we're gonna slowly start lifting up. So it's a seal position where our hands are under our shoulders and we can hang there. It's more deep spinal back bend. So don't go there if it feels awkward or painful or anything else. It doesn't really matter. It just in case some of us have a bit more flexibility and requires a bit deeper impact. And we take a few last breaths here. And then we're gonna bend our elbows. And if you are elbows in front, you just slowly release yourself onto the ground. We place our hands under the right or left cheek and we're gonna shake our hips up and back. And we are ready to move into our final relaxation. So we're gonna simply roll to lie down on our backs. So rolling over your right or left side. And for a moment we're gonna bring our knees towards the chest. So first not very close because we just had a back bend. Allowing our spine to settle. We're gonna make a couple of circling movements on our back, both directions. And if it feels appropriate, you can start moving your knees a bit closer to the chest. So massaging your spine. And then we place the feet on the ground, open the arms wide, and we allow our knees to drop towards the right side and we look towards the left. You don't need to make your knees move completely to the ground. So it's an easy spinal twist, no need to force anything. We're just settling our spine into neutral position with this final spinal twist. And on an inhale we bring the knees up, and on the exhale knees to the left and the head turns towards the right side. Once again, just breathe into any stretch you feel on your right side, on your right side or hip, or anywhere else in your body. Just an indication, you might feel it in the different places. And on a big inhale, we're gonna bring our knees up. Any final movement you would like to do, and then slowly we release our legs on the ground. And we adjust anything that needs to be adjusted, so maybe bringing the shoulder blades closer under the center of the spine, placing the arms, palms up, and the feet wider than the hip width apart. And our chin is slightly tucked in, so you can have a really long neck. And we take a few breaths, inhaling through the nose and letting go through the mouth. So this time really try to imagine you're exhaling discomfort or dis-ease or anything else that can be visualized as a black or grey smoke or dirty water or anything else you can imagine. So inhaling and exhaling. You can also add a sound to it, releasing the voice tubes, these voice cords in your throat. Very, very therapeutic. And then we settle into our final relaxation, and I will briefly guide you through 61 points. So I will call the name on the parts of your body, and all you need to do is just mentally notice or repeat the name of the part to yourself as we go along. So that's very easy, and you can also practice it for yourself when you want to achieve an instant relaxation. So we start now. Bring your attention to the third eye, the area in between your eyebrows, the base of your neck, your right shoulder, right elbow, right wrist, right thumb, index finger, middle finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, right wrist, right elbow, right shoulder, the base of the neck, left shoulder, left elbow, left wrist, left thumb, index finger, middle finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, left wrist, left elbow, left shoulder, the base of your neck, middle of your chest, your right side of the chest, back to the middle of the chest, left side of the chest, back to the heart center, your belly button, your lower abdomen, your right hip, right knee, right ankle, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, right ankle, right knee, right hip, your lower abdomen, your left hip, left knee, left ankle, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, pinky, left ankle, left knee, left hip, lower abdomen, belly button, middle of the chest, the base of your neck, and your eyebrows area. And now take a couple of conscious breaths in and out through the nose. And we start waking up our body by moving the fingers and toes. So maybe making fists, and spreading the fingers, or stretching yourself out by bringing the hands over the head and engaging all the muscles of your legs. And then through your right or left sides, by bending your knees, we're gonna find ourselves on the side, so right side or left side. Few breaths here. And we use the hands to lift ourselves back up into our sitting meditation position. So whatever is good for you, adjusting something that needs to be adjusted to make you sit comfortably with a straight spine and relaxed posture. And we allow our breath to return to the natural flow, using these few last moments to recall our intention, helping our mind to remain focused on the things that are really important. Repeat this intention you set for yourself 3 times silently. And when you've done so, we're gonna bring our hands in front of the chest, opening eyes. And welcome back. So enjoy the rest of the day. Namaste and be well.